Hey, it's Colin here, founder and creator of Hey Guru, heyguru.io, and today I want to talk to you about the number one key ingredient to being able to actually get the things done that you need to get done and be successful. So a lot of people obviously think that, what they need to be successful is they need to be motivated or they need to be disciplined, okay? But the problem with motivation is that it diminishes, right? When you actually monitor your motivation on a day-to-day basis throughout the day, you realize that at some points in the day you're very motivated, maybe first thing in the morning, and then later on in the day, maybe in the afternoon, right? The latter half of the afternoon you feel unmotivated, and then maybe you feel a bit more motivated again, and then towards the end of the day you lose motivation again. So it's one of these things that's very up and down, right? And it's sort of the same thing with discipline, because your discipline is linked to your willpower, and your willpower is one of those things which depletes over time as you continue to do things that require discipline of you, right? And so I don't believe that these two things are particularly good to rely on when it comes to being able to get stuff done and be successful. For example, if you're building your coaching business, there are many things that you got to do to be successful, right? You need to set up your profile on Hey Guru. You need to learn how to optimize it. You need to learn how to be able to market and sell your coaching services, get traffic, do things like cold outreach, social media marketing, right? It's one of those. It's not easy to be successful, right? And so, what do we really need in order to make sure that we get these things done and so that we become successful? What we really need is accountability, okay? And this is the thing that almost nobody really talks about, and it really pisses me off that they don't talk about it, and all they ever talk about is motivation and discipline, because accountability leverages our human nature to basically ensure that we become successful, right? Because accountability is linked to, social shaming, which in a lot of cases, obviously not a good thing, but if we use it to our advantage in an intelligent way, then we can use this mechanism of feeling shame and embarrassment in front of our peers to push us to always be successful. Okay, so how can we go about using accountability to ensure that we become successful in everything that we do? Well, one, I really break it down into three main accountability systems that you got to install into your life, okay? The first thing is you need to get an accountability buddy, okay? You need to find someone who you're going to be checking in with every day, or at least every week, ideally every day. The more you have them top of mind, right? You create a schedule with them. You say, like, at 7 p.m. or whatever, 9 p.m. every day, I'm going to send you a message updating you whether or not I did these things, okay? You want to have someone who's going to obviously do the same with you as well, right? You want to have someone who is going to be checking in with you every day to make sure that you're doing the things that you promise them every day, okay? And if you don't do it, here's another trick that you can use to, if you're still struggling to take action, even with an accountability buddy, what you can do is you can tell your accountability buddy, I will give you $100, okay? Actually physically send them the money or give them cash or whatever, right? And then you tell them, I'm going to complete all of these tasks or hit these particular targets every day, and if I don't hit them, then you can keep $10 for every task that I failed to meet, or something like that, right? The point is, though, that you want to get money involved, because by involving money and the fear of losing that money and the pain associated with losing that money, it forces you. It acts as a forcing function to force you to take action in whatever it is that you want to do, even if you are afraid, okay? And so this is one of the tricks that I used to overcome my social anxiety when I was a lot younger, is I gave a bunch of money to my accountability buddy, and I told him, hey, I am going to talk to 10 strangers today, and if I don't talk to 10 strangers, for every stranger that I fail to talk to, you get to keep £10, okay, British pounds because I'm from the UK. You can keep £10, and when I involve money in that sense, I pretty much always took action. Okay, obviously you can try this with other things as well. Like, I haven't really thought too much about it. Like, the money trick does work really well for me, but that's something that I would recommend you to do if you are still struggling to take action, even if you have an accountability buddy and you're checking in with them on a daily basis. Okay, now let me explain why is important to get other people involved to push us to succeed and take action and stuff like that. And the reason why it comes down to basically back to the primitive times when we were cavemen, and essentially if we said that we're going to do something and we did not keep our word, what would potentially happen is we would lose status in our tribe, and then we potentially even be executed or thrown out of the tribe, and that fear of death that is associated with letting down our peer group is something that has existed within our human nature since those days. Okay, and it's still something that we can use to our advantage in order to succeed, right? Most people obviously are a victim to this mechanism of social shame, and that's why they get peer pressured into things like taking drugs and drinking alcohol and all this kind of stuff, right? And doing all the things that are not good for them. But we can actually use that same mechanism in a way that actually helps us by almost making it in a way where it's almost like peer pressuring us to take action, right? Peer pressuring us to step it up and do the things that we got to do, and that forces us to succeed. Okay, now what's the second type of accountability system that you can use in your life and in your business to succeed? Well, that is getting a mastermind group. Okay, and basically what that is a group of people just like you, okay, who are who are on a similar path. Okay, so if you're building your coaching business on Hey Guru, what I'd recommend you to do is go on to our Facebook group for coaches and reach out to a bunch of coaches on there, maybe people who are in a similar niche to you, and then arrange to set up a mastermind group where every week, maybe once a week, you would get together on a Zoom call or something like that and discuss your goals, discuss what you're going to do next week, share tips and tricks and that kind of thing. Okay, so that is another form of accountability that you can use in your life. And the third accountability system that you need to install into your life is to get a coach. Okay, now if you're a coach, you should also have coaches. Okay, having a coach isn't something that just applies to people who are at like the consumer level. Okay, everyone, even if you're a coach yourself, you should still also have coaches. Okay, and the reason why we want to have coaches is because, well, I mean, if you're a coach, you probably know why, right? But obviously it's, on the one hand, to be able to get expert advice on what to do. The other thing is, essentially we have someone that we look up to that, puts pressure on us to do the things that we got to do, right? It's almost like having a father figure or a mother figure in our life, whipping our butts in the right direction, okay? And not only that, because we were actually paying them, okay? Because we're actually paying them, again, that, the fact that we don't want to lose our investment that we spend in paying for their services forces us to do the things that we got to do and succeed, okay? So the important thing to realize about accountability is that accountability is one of those things where it's very constant, okay? Like when you have the right accountability systems in place, it provides a constant source of almost like fear in your life, but the good kind of fear. Fear of letting down our accountability buddy or our mastermind group or our coach, which then is a lot more beneficial for us to succeed because fear as an emotion is way more powerful than positive, inspirational type of emotions, right? Things like discipline and motivation, you could say, are kind of uplifting, positive emotions. But the thing with human beings is that we're not wired to respond to the positive emotions as much as we are to the negative emotions, right? That is why people don't, fail to achieve their goals, because they are, the negative emotions in their life are a lot stronger than the positive ones, and they can't force themselves to do what they got to do. Okay, so knowing that that is how it is for every human on earth, including you, we should try to leverage this to our advantage instead of being a victim to it. And the way that we leverage it to our advantage, like I said, is by installing these accountability systems into our life. Okay, forget about motivation. If you have it, that's great. Okay, better than nothing, right? Discipline, again, massively overrated, in my opinion. What is incredibly underrated, yet is what actually gets results, is accountability. And if you want examples and proof of this, think about people that work in a sales job, okay? Sales is one of those things that nobody wants to do, right? It's scary, it's intimidating, and nobody's going to choose to do it as a hobby. Like, how many people do sales as a hobby? Nobody does sales as a hobby. But they do it if they're going to get paid for it. And for these people that work a sales job, it is actually not a super scary, intimidating thing that they struggle with, because they oftentimes are in a what's called like a boiler room, or like a room together with their colleagues who are also salespeople, and you have like 10 or more of these people just in a room together talking about and thinking about sales. And basically, if you fail to hit your targets because you have anxiety and fear and stuff like that, and you're too afraid to reach out to a prospect, then your colleagues are going to shame you, and they're going to judge you in a negative way, and that forces you as a salesperson to step it up and actually do those cold calls or outreach things that you got to do to make the sale. Okay, so that's an example of how accountability systems actually force people to do things that are very unnatural and actually be able to get success with it. Okay, what are some other examples? If you think about people that professional sports athletes, like NFL players or football players or basketball players or anything like that, or even Olympic athletes, what do they have? They have coaches, okay, multiple coaches usually. They also have a peer group. So their teammates essentially serve as almost like a mastermind, right? Like a pseudo mastermind. Maybe they don't necessarily have one-on-one accountability buddies, but at least they have 2 out of the 3, right? And so as you can see, even professional athletes need strong accountability systems for them to show up and do the work and succeed. Because otherwise, if they didn't have these systems in place, they would probably not show up to training in the morning, right? If it was just down to them, they would probably sleep in the morning. They would probably just not show up to training. They wouldn't be eating the right diet and whatnot. And so you need to understand that, you need to look around and look at people who are at the highest level in life. And you need to ask yourself, like, why is it that they're successful? Oh, oftentimes it's because, they have a peer group around them, right? Or maybe, they have like these support systems in place, whether it's coaches or their managers or whatever it is that forces them to show up and do the work. Okay, if you think about a company like McDonald's, right? Why is it that they have managers and supervisors and all this kind of stuff? Why do they have these people, right? It's because without them, right, without managers, without supervisors, etc., the employees are probably not going to show up to work. Or if they are going to show up to work, they're going to show up to work late. Or if they do show up to work, maybe they're going to do a crappy job at the work and the food is bad, or the service is bad, or they are not cleaning the tables quickly enough. And so they have these supervisors, managers, and everything like that, which almost is equivalent to like a coach, right? that forces them to do their, to make sure the food is good, make sure they show up on time, make sure they deliver a high quality service, clean the tables on time, etc., right? So if these professional institutions need managers and supervisors and things like that, then why do why can you get away with not having a coach? You can, right? You need to have a coach, right? You need to have a coach. You need to have accountability buddies, and you need to have a mastermind or peer group or something like that, right? So go on to heyguru.io if you don't have a coach right now and look for a coach. Like I said, even if you are a coach yourself, you still need coaches to keep you on track, okay? So you can go ahead and find a coach to help you, right? Keeping you in check with the things that you got to do every day. And also, if you want to find an accountability buddy or mastermind, click the link in the description below. It's going to take you to the official Hey Guru Coaches Facebook group and reach out to random people there. It doesn't matter. You got to be brave, right? I had to do this in my own life. Go on there and just make a post and say, I'm looking for an accountability buddy in this particular time zone or country or whatever, and or mastermind group. If you want to get together and keep each other accountable, then hit me up, okay? And I can guarantee you that at least 3 to 5 people, maybe even more, are going to reach out to you, and you'll have a little group going, and you'll have ideally an accountability buddy in place that you're both going to be able to keep each other accountable and actually be successful, okay? Because if you don't do that, you're probably going to fall off track. You're going to lose motivation. You're going to lose discipline. You're going to fall off. You're going to lose steam, and you're probably going to give up on this journey of trying to be a successful coach, which we don't want to do, right? This is a long-term journey, guys. In order to be successful here, it's going to take years of consistent effort. Okay, you're not going to get there overnight. Maybe in the first year, you'll see really, meaningful progress, and you'll have secured your first couple of clients, and you'll have some, success stories under your belt, and you'll have some nice income from that. But maybe it's not. Maybe you're not at a point where maybe after a year you're not going to get to the point where the results are super life changing. But you're going to see results. Right? After about 3 years, you're going to see significant, major results. After 5 years, life-changing results. Okay, but in order to get to the 5-year mark, you need to stick with it. Okay, and how do we stick with it? By installing accountability systems into our life. Now, if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Hopefully this has helped you guys. And like I said, we have a free Facebook group you can join for coaches. Okay, if you are a coach and you're not already listed on Hey Guru yet, go ahead and get listed on there completely free today. Okay, go on there, hit the sign up button and sign up and get listed. Get your profile on there for free, because that is going to serve as a channel for you to be able to attract new clients, okay, who are going to be searching for coaches just like you on our platform. You'll be able to get new clients from there on autopilot by posting your profile there, okay? And that's basically about it. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you soon.